Okay, all the videos that I post are usually serious, but today's topic specifically, I'm just gonna say trigger warning because I'm gonna be talking about weight and dieting. So if you don't want to hear that, don't watch this video. This isn't aimed at any K-pop idol specifically. This is just something that's been on my mind for months, and this could be translated to any person who isn't fully educated on what they're talking about and still talking about it. But I need K-pop idols to stop talking about dieting. Just stop. Because like 99% of the time when K-pop idols are like, I'm going on a diet, they're really saying that they're starving themselves. And I feel like a lot of people now think that diet is synonymous with not eating, and that's not the case. Once again, I've said this so many times, but the problem doesn't really lie within the idols, it lies within the K-pop industry. And when you pluck these trainee idols off the playground in very formative and important years where you're so incredibly impressionable, when you're a trainee, you're taken away from your parents and you live with mostly a bunch of teenagers, but the people that are in control of you and are taking care of you are other staff that work in the company. And you don't really have anyone else in terms of being an adult to rely on. If I'm wrong, K-pop idols correct me, but that is what I assume. So when you have these staff being like, okay, you can't eat now, when you have JYP telling twice to go on a diet, i.e. not feeding them, and Bangchan has to sneak into the cafeteria to give them food, when you're dancing for 8 hours a day at minimum and you're not allowed to eat, when the breaks you're given to eat a full meal is like 5 minutes long, and that's something that's been done to you for years, and then you're a K-pop idol, of course you're not going to have a good relationship with food. I'm not even going to go into the cultural context of South Korea and their society's relationship to being skinny because I'm not fully educated on that, but also know that that is there. So when these idols come up on live or go on Bubble or whatever, and they're talking to hundreds of thousands, millions of people, a lot of whom which are impressionable teenagers growing up, and they say that they're going on a diet, which to them is literally just not eating. It is so dangerous to not only them, but to those who are watching. Once again, this isn't only to K-pop idols, this is to anyone in general. I do not want to hear you talk about going on a diet unless if you are actually educated on that. When I hear K-pop idols talking about going on diets, I want to hear the gym rats. I want to hear the people who are actually like fully educated in what a diet actually is and healthy ways to do it. Even if you're a K-pop idol and you're sitting here being like, guys, make sure to eat, but I'm gonna go on a diet because I want to lose pounds, I want to lose weight, and I want to be skinny, but make sure to eat. Like, the people, the children, the teenagers you're talking to are still going to take that into account. I just think in general, as the human race, we are so far behind from where we need to be in terms of our relationship to weight. There's so much fat phobia that is just ingrained into us naturally that we don't even know until we're called out about it. Me, like a year ago, realizing that the word fat isn't bad, just like how if you called someone skinny, they wouldn't be like, oh my God. And on top of that, I've been dancing since I was 5. And when you're a dancer or an athlete or you move your body consistently, but especially as a K-pop idol in ways that are so intense, you need to be eating like the Flash, brother. You need to be eating so much food because you're burning so many calories. You need to equal it out. And it's unfortunate, but it makes sense. You have the K-pop industry that is raising these children and teenagers and having them have such a bad relationship to food and starving them, making them not eat, seeming like such a normal thing. So then when they're finally K-pop idols, they think that shit is normal. And then once again, dieting is an actual thing. It's not starving yourself. It's not eating. So you have, and you're saying such a uneducated take, and these impressionable children and teenagers are listening to you. Yeah, I need K-pop idols to stop talking about dieting because, like I said before, like 99% of the time they're talking about not eating. like starving, and that's not what dieting is. And ironically, the motherfuckers that these K-pop stands fat shame, like Changbin, I know he has such an educated viewpoint on dieting, and I would love to hear his take.